Good morning, everyone. Nathan from All Properties Group. I'm out here at Bimbimba Park in Pimpama at the moment. Excuse the wind. Hopefully it's okay through the earbuds. I'll try and block it as much as I can, but it's a beautiful morning out here at the moment. I wanted to give you an update as to what I'm seeing in the marketplace and also talk about why I don't believe that the Gold Coast market will have an official crash. Yes, there's been a slight correction within the marketplace, within property prices, but there's some targets or there's some things out there at the moment that are going to stop prices from completely crashing, which of course is what the media keeps hyping about at the moment. So I want to talk about, so last weekend we had multiple open homes. 36 Yatla Streets had four through and one offer last weekend. Unfortunately, that offer didn't meet the mark, so we're back on open home this week, Saturday, and also we had an open home throughout the week, which had an extra couple of buyers through, which we're working with at the moment. 24 Kalgoorlie Street was open on Tuesday night, had a couple of buyers through there that can't make it to this weekend. We're expecting quite a great turnout this morning, which I'm going to straight after this video. In Pimpama, also open number 1, Windward Place. Unfortunately, no one out. Actually, we had one person out through there last weekend. Calypso Bay continues to have very small number or very low buyer demand in there right now. But throughout most of the open homes that I could witness out there, there was usually only 1 to 2 buyers. So about standard out there. Hopefully we have a bit more. It's beautiful weather this weekend. Always in Calypso Bay during spring, things pick up quite dramatically. So I'm expecting that to happen this weekend as well. But let's talk about the market. The media continues to hype about crashes and all these sort of things. And yes, we've had interest rate rises, which I think everyone is now kind of used to. I think we're all understanding that rates are probably going to keep going up for the remainder of the year. Hopefully not as dramatically at 50 basis points every month. More than likely there'll be one more of those, and fingers crossed it slows down. We've already seen, as I spoke about last week, the big banks like Commonwealth Bank, Macquarie Bank have dropped their fixed interest rates by up to 1.6%, which is a sign that they can see it peaking in interest rates before dropping back down again, making life a little bit easier there. We have noticed in the marketplace the slowdown in finance approvals. That's something to keep a really close eye on. We're not 100% sure why there's less COVID around. The banks should be performing at a higher level or a faster level at the moment, but there seems to be more holdups as of late. But the key thing that drives the property market or will force a crash or a boom is, of course, supply and demand. Now, at the moment, during winter, we had a very, very low supply, despite interest rates rising and obviously media calling that people are going to struggle with interest rate rises and repayments and have to sell. We just haven't seen that occur. During spring, we're no longer expecting the influx of stock to the levels that we've seen in winters, in springs over the past. I think we're going to see a softer spring selling season when it comes to stock, which should theoretically continue to hold prices quite steady throughout the coast. But the biggest driving factor, of course, when they come to talk about supply and demand, I think is going to be the employment. Right now, the unemployment rate's at the lowest it's been in a long, long time in Queensland and nationally as well. And when we look at the pipeline of works coming to Queensland and to the Gold Coast and Brisbane, I just don't see an influx of supply coming to the market. I don't see us having distressed selling, which of course will increase that supply quite dramatically. So things like the Olympic Games, of course, yes, that's years away, but that's going to bring with it the Gabba is going to get a full upgrade, which is, I don't even know how many millions of dollars that upgrade is. It's going to be years of work leading up to it with tons of employment. We've got Cross River Rail, which continues to go on, and we haven't even started the Helensvale train station. The Pimpama train station's only just started the early works. So much extra that still hasn't come that's going to keep people employed there. Exit 49 upgrade has just started the early works in Pimpama. That's a 2 to 3 year project worth over $50 million with multiple job opportunities in there. Of course, the Yatla exit is still ongoing there, and Ormo exit has just begun, or probably halfway through, I guess, at the moment as well. That's just there. We've got the light rail coming. And then the next stage of the light rail is in planning works as well. The Coomera Connector, of course, is the biggest project, which, yes, is going to negatively affect some locations, like some pockets of Helensvale, some pockets of Coomera, like Coomera Waters. There's going to be some of these pockets that will have negative effects. But the good thing is, when we talk about the job rate and distress selling and things like that that are going to increase supply, that the amount of positions that are going to be available throughout the Coomera Connector project, like we've got the south section, section 1, of course, which is around the Shipper Drive, which is going to end around the Foxwell Drive section before heading straight down to Nerang. Then when that's complete, that's going to head out through Eagleby, through Pimpama, through down to Jake as well, which is going to be amazing throughout there. That's a long 6 to 10 year project worth billions of dollars, bringing extra employment back to the Gold Coast and back to Brisbane. Of course, that means when we look at the construction industry now, we don't have enough people, residential or commercial, to keep up with the projects we've got now, let alone this influx of projects is going to kick off pretty soon, which means we're going to be shipping people in from New South Wales, from Melbourne, from South Australia, from international. More than likely, we're going to get some more help from over there, which means we're going to have to find housing for those during what is probably one of the biggest rent crises we've had in quite some time, forcing people, hopefully, into buying more houses, investors especially. We look at the marketplace right now, and the number one buyer as a real estate agent we're dealing with in almost every single price point. I'm dealing with properties all the way up to $4 million, and every single one of them is investor demand heavy. So we're dealing with probably 2 out of every 3 buyers is an investor right now. But it's because there's great bargains out there. Properties aren't selling for as much as what they were 3 to 6 months ago, but the rental returns have actually increased, meaning there's probably never been a better opportunity for investors to get cash positive or positively geared investments on the Gold Coast in some time. So if you've got a property that you believe would rent really well, you're probably going to do really well in the marketplace right now. I mean, 24 Kalgoorlie Street, 36 Yatala Street are very heavy right now in investor interest. The offers that we're getting have all been from investors. Almost every inspection is an investor. And that's going to be what continues to keep this marketplace going, in my personal opinion. And that's why I genuinely believe that as much as the media can hype up a crash, they can hype up all this stuff that they keep talking about, they're not on the front line and seeing it. There's not going to be a crash. I just don't possibly see how, with the level of employment we've got, with the level of investment throughout the Gold Coast and Brisbane right now, that we could possibly have a property crash. We haven't seen distress selling yet. I don't see it happening. But if you disagree, let me know. Let's chat in the comments. But I'm going to head off to some open homes now. Everyone, enjoy your weekends. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.